Hello everyone, this is Christine Washira, class 31, and I am making my final webinar presentation on handling transition and how to make the most out of every opportunity. I believe that transitions are a part of life and that every fellow will eventually go through a transitional phase or has already gone through a transitional phase, either at the beginning of your fellowship or at the end of your fellowship as you transition out. So join me as I talk about this. Transitions, like I said, are a part of life, and I'm sorry for that. Transitions, like I said, are a part of life. And the first and important thing to do is to understand that transitions will happen and will constantly happen. Change is constant and it keeps happening. And so once you have that narrowed down and once you have that understanding, that is actually a very good place to start, even in this journey or in your transitional phase journey. So, and also, understand that transitions do not have to be difficult, and a lot of people believe that change is hard, but change can be positive. Change means that you're making room for new things and new opportunities. So change does not have to be difficult. It may be a little stressful, but it does not have to be difficult. And how you do this is basically having a positive attitude. Attitude is everything. How you approach change, how you approach transitions is very important. So how do you handle these transitions? I have come with 4 major points that have worked for me, and through research that I have also done research on and seem to work for a number of people. The first one is be patient with yourself. And I will delve into each of these points in the presentation as we move along, but they do sound self-explanatory, but also there are certain aspects of each of these points that I will highlight. The second one is taking care of your mental health, and statistically a lot of people in their professional lives do not correlate mental health and professional lives, which should not be the case, because a poor mental health means that you will not be succeeding professionally, neither will you be able to transition well. The third one is make room for growth, and the fourth one is prioritize time with people. So I will go into each of these points in the next slides. First one is being patient with yourself. And I know this sounds very simple and easy to do, but it is for a lot of people. As they transition, they tend to get frustrated with the fact that they are not learning fast enough, or the fact that they are still in the learning phase where they think they should be in a different phase. So the first thing I believe that you should do is that embrace and enjoy the moment. If you are a new fellow and you've just moved into your new city, I would say embrace that moment. Have joy, learn what are the good things about that place that you're in, about the transitional phase, because I believe the transitional phase is a beautiful place to be in. The second aspect is accept that you will make mistakes, but keep going. Mistakes are part of the transitional phase, so accept that and do not beat yourself around it. Build empathy. I know a lot you've heard about building empathy for others, but in this particular case, I am asking you to build empathy for yourself. Enjoy your journey, appreciate your journey. And this is not to be mistaken with feeling sorry for yourself. It's not self-pity, but it's basically understanding and appreciating your journey. The fourth one is celebrating the wins, both small and big. And of course, as you do this, you will learn to pick yourself up even as you go on through the transitional phase. The second aspect is taking care of your mental health. And this, like I said, a lot of people do not think it's important, but statistically, this is one of the most important things that you can do, either in your professional, in your career, in your personal growth, and in all other aspects of your life. And the first thing that for me that has always worked is being grateful for the particular season that you're in. And so if you're in a transitional phase, if you're a new fellow, be grateful for the opportunity to be a fellow. If you're exiting out of your fellowship, be grateful that you had the opportunity to actually live and serve in a different country, and learn new cultures. There's always something to be grateful for, and that changes your psyche, that changes your mental thoughts, because you stop being cynical or being a critic, and you start appreciating the things around you. And that also goes along with having a positive self-talk. Do not beat yourself down. Do not say statements like, oh, I'm so stupid, or oh, I'm so dumb, or I should have done this differently. Have positive self-talk. Encourage yourself. Pat yourself on the back when you do something good. Write yourself some notes. Take yourself out for certain things that you actually enjoy. And in your mind, cultivate a culture of encouraging and building yourself up as you go through the transitional phase. Like I said, you are bound to make many mistakes, and it's not necessarily an easy phase, but it does not have to be stressful. The third thing is exercise. Exercise has been known to help clear your thoughts and give you a good psyche, and it releases endorphins that help you feel good. So exercise. The fourth thing is take a break when you need to. If you need a few hours every day, take a break. Focus on one thing at a time. Do not overthink things. Do not have multiple things that you're thinking about and you're trying to accomplish at one go. This is different from multitasking, where you can be working at 2 different projects. I'm talking about as you transition, you're thinking, oh, I need to be doing this with my life, but I also need to be doing this, and that is bound to give up a stressful feel. The last thing, which a lot of people again take for granted, is eat and sleep well. That helps you take care of your physical body, but also when you sleep well, you wake up with a good mood and attitude, and also as you eat healthy food. The third aspect of the transitional phase that has worked for me is making room for growth, because as you transition, that means there's a lot of new learning coming your way, and you need to be able to embrace all this new learning. And how I've done this in the past is prioritizing alone time. And as I do my alone time, I can be able to self-evaluate, to see how my goals are going, to be able to check my own progress. Also embrace the new environment and the new phase that you're in. Not just be happy and just say that you're happy to be there, but embrace it. Want to learn more about it. Want to learn, okay, so I have this new job or this new project I've transitioned into. Want to know how's the best way possible that you can do it and you can enjoy it at the same time. The third is accept the person that you're becoming and let go of the past, which a lot of people struggle with, because like I say, change is considered to be a bad thing, but it is not necessarily a bad thing. You will grow. If you, throughout the transitional phase, as you take up all that new learning, you will grow. As you conclude your fellowship, a lot of us have grown. And so just accepting that you have grown and that you're now a new person, and that you're not, probably things that you used to be interested in are no longer part of the things that you're interested in now, and that is okay. That means that you have grown, and that is fine. And so accept that person. Do not fight with the growth. Do not feel bad. Do not apologize for it. The other aspect is say yes to new opportunities, whatever they may be. Say yes. Be ready to accept and take them up. Take up a challenge. It helps you. And finally, accommodate change as you transition out. The fourth and last aspect that I consider to be very, very important is that you will need to prioritize time with people. And I know this sounds a bit contradictory with what I said earlier about alone time, but these are two very different aspects. The alone time is mostly self-evaluation and your goals and working on yourself, and that is very important, and it is not to be replaced with prioritizing time with people. Prioritizing time with people is setting aside time for certain relationships. And I have categorized these relationships into four different types that will help you throughout the transitional phase. And the first one is mentors. And for me, the mentors are people I look up to, whose values are in line with mine, and I can look up to professionally, relationally, or even spiritually, depending on what I am hoping to gain from them. And so the mentors have much more experience than I have. The mentors are available to meet with me and willing to help me and work with me. That is very important. Having a mentor who wants to actually help you is very important. That way you do not waste your time trying to get their attention or their time and it's not coming through. And so getting that is extremely important. And that relationship through the transitional phase will help guide you. They can share experiences of certain things that worked for them, and they can help you as you try and maneuver your way through the transitional phase. And so, for example, as I am moving out and I'm a fellow transitioning out, I can get a mentor who can help me with my career journey and walk with me and help me understand, okay, what's the next phase that I want to go into, and help eliminate certain concepts that I may have that I'm not necessarily right. The other different relationship that help with the transitional phase is the inner circle. Is your inner circle, and these are friends who understand your purpose. These are the friends who will not criticize you or judge you or ask you questions that do not necessarily help you at that time, but these are the friends who will help you help you grow, and they understand your journey. These are the friends who understand what the fellowship, why you chose to leave your country for 1 year and go to a different country and serve there, because they understand your ultimate purpose. These are the same friends who are available on call, and you can call them up and share and get that emotional support when you need to. And so these should be chosen wisely, because if you put the wrong category of friends into your inner circle, that might not end up well, because they may not be able to give you the emotional support, they may not be there for you, and they may not understand your journey just because they're not as invested as you might want them to be. The third category is the mentees, and these are the people that you're working with. And I think that every leader, in your professional journey, as you receive from others, you should be able to give to others. And so these are the people who you can share your bits of wisdom, the new learning that is coming your way, that you can talk to them and share your experiences. And as you share, you are bound to learn more, and so the mentee relationship is equally important as you transitional out. And it will also help you not to be self-centered and not think of your own transition all the time, but also think, how can, even in that transitional phase, how can you help someone else? The fourth relationship, which is a little different from the three that I've mentioned earlier, is the community. And the community, by this I mean you will need at least some networking events, some social events, some events outside even your professional growth, and it helps in your different perspective, because then you will be able to get a different perspective than what you've been getting throughout the other different types of relationship. And so for this one, I would suggest, as you go through your transitional phase, get some good networking events to go for, get some good social events where you do not necessarily have to talk about your professional growth, where you can just have a good time. And this helps you again with your psyche and maintaining that good attitude, and it removes you from the daily stress that comes with the transitional phase. And so all these four relationships play a very important role, and they should be maintained as you go through your transitional phase. And with that, I conclude this presentation, and my takeaway for you is that understand that transitions will happen and they do not have to be difficult. That once you understand that, then that makes it so much easier for you to actually delve into it. The second thing that I would want you to take home is that as you transition out and as you go through the whole transitional phase, maintain a good attitude. And with a good attitude comes gratitude, comes a good mental positive mental health aspects that come with that. So maintain a good attitude as you transition out. And the third one is, do not walk with it alone. again, find your relationships, find people who are going through the same thing, invest in yourself, understand. And by working alone means you're not reading any books. Read as much as you can, and look out for more places where you can learn as much as you can in that transitional phase. Otherwise, thank you, and I wish you all the best in all the future transitional phases.